In this video, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do in my 20s to ensure that I get rich in my 30s. I'm Josh, I'm 26 years old, doing high ticket sales as well as paid advertising. For the past 8 years, I've done pretty much every business model you can think of and failed at all of them. So you may be wondering, why are you trying to get rich in your 30s and beyond as opposed to getting rich in your 20s? And the reason for that is because what I've learned so far in my career is that whenever I've tried to rush something, and I've always felt like I'm in a rush, I need to get rich, I need to become a millionaire by the time I'm 25, by putting myself in this rush, it's actually hindered my decision making, and I've made poor decisions which have affected my long-term outcomes. So what I've realized is, okay, play the long game. If I can do the behaviors which would make it unreasonable for me to actually achieve success in my 30s and 40s, then that's a good outcome, right? And if you think about it, most people never achieve financial independence, even in their 30s, even in their 40s. So why do I need to put pressure on myself to get rich right now when I can just play the long game and actually ensure my chances of getting rich over the long term, as opposed to needing an outcome right away? Also, there's so many things that you can't control. So, you could try and get rich quickly, but then something out of your control happens, and then all of a sudden you're back to zero, So in terms of focusing on long term, the more long term I can focus, the more I can increase my chances of actually achieving financial success, financial independence, etc. Okay, so what are the steps I'm going to take to ensure that I become successful financially in my 30s and beyond? This is not me giving any advice. You might think my complete ideas are just bullshit, and that's completely fair enough, right? So this is just what I plan to do. Number one, I'm focused on building insane skill sets. Now, the reason why is because skills precede everything, right? The fact is, the more skilled I become, the more I will be rewarded financially in the marketplace, and that is the precedent for any wealth building that I'll accumulate over time. If I have FU skills, I'll be able to create FU money. And what skills am I going to be focused on? It's going to be sales, marketing, and personal branding. I'm also going to be expanding my knowledge on things like business, philosophy, and also how to think from first principles, because if I can think clearly, then I'm going to be able to achieve better outcomes. For me, skills also apply on things which aren't directly linked to making income. For example, health, ensuring that I'm sleeping well, that I'm eating healthily, that I'm training regularly, and keeping myself functioning on a high level so I can actually have the energy to work those long hours. I also manage my internal state, things like meditation and dealing with the stress that inevitably comes with business and entrepreneurship. Those are skills that I'm also focused on as well. So the key takeaway here is that skills and health are the foundation for everything else. Health itself is a skill, and that's going to be step one to how I'm going to basically become rich in my 30s. So number two, I'm going to build a personal brand, which is what I'm doing right now with YouTube. Now, obviously right now, I don't have many followers, many subscribers. It's mainly like friends and family or whatever. The idea is, it takes a long time, first of all, to build a YouTube channel. It can take years, and it's a long-term play. But the value of a personal brand is, it can't be stated. Basically, every very financially successful person I know in their 20s, all of them have personal brands. Okay, so with the work that I do, it's very decentralized. I'm essentially self-employed. This enables me the freedom to actually be able to invest and build a personal brand. And off the back of having a strong personal brand, it's going to have a plethora of benefits. Number one, it's going to lead to more opportunities in business, because if you're posting about a certain specific topic, more people can find me, more people can seek me out from whatever I do, which is essentially high ticket sales and advertising, okay? So more people can seek me out, and that's going to lead to inbound opportunities, which is an incredible thing to have as a business. The second thing is having an audience gives you a lot of opportunity. Number one, it gives you credibility. So, if you want to connect with high level people, which we'll talk about in a minute, if you want to connect with high level people, having an audience almost gives you pre-selection that your higher status, you've got a bit of an audience, you've got somewhat of a following. You're going to be able to connect with high level people, which is going to open further doors for you. Thirdly, if you have an audience, then you can monetize that audience. Now, I'm not talking in a scammy way or a way which is taking advantage of your audience. I'm talking in a way which genuinely provides value to their lives. But yeah, that is obviously an option if you have an audience. And if the option's there and it's, a win-win, then why wouldn't you do that? So yeah, personal brand and documenting the process is going to be a key thing for me over the next few years. Number three, I'm going to focus on building network. Now, networking is really important, and I've benefited from having a good network. Like, for example, the guy I work with is a friend of mine from like 8 years ago, but we actually reconnected when I was doing my coaching business about 3 years ago. So therein lies the power of network. But the point is like, it's difficult to, from what I've experienced, to connect with people if you don't have anything to give them. And that's why I focused on putting a skill set first, putting a skill acquisition first, because if you have skills, people are going to be more interested in actually connecting with you because you've got something that you can add to their lives. And I know that sounds transactional and that sounds, somewhat, it sounds a bit mean, really. It sounds like, oh, so you only connect with people if they have something to offer for you. But what I found is human beings are very self-interested. Like, this is human nature. And what I found is that if you don't have something to offer people, it's very difficult for them to even want to like spend time with you, because like human beings, we've got, only a scarce amount of time and resources that we can actually put into, our goals and our lives, right? And there's endless friends that we've got. So like, why would someone just connect with a random if you've got nothing to offer them, or if they've got nothing to offer you, right? It just doesn't work. Yeah, I've got friends that I keep for sentimental value, people I've been friends with for 20 years, right? And I love those people. They're like brothers to me. So I don't need more people who I can add to my life for sentimental value. I don't need that. For me, it's more about, connecting with people who can actually offer some kind of value to my life. Like, that's more important to me. So as transactional as that sounds, as far as I'm concerned, that's a reality of life. And that's why I put skills first. If you can build skills, you're going to be more valuable to a network, and that network's going to grow with time. And then you can connect with even more valuable people as you get, referred through that network, or people introduce you. But being somebody of value in the beginning by having skill sets is always going to set you apart. And obviously, personal brand too. That's very valuable, because obviously having an audience opens doors for you. People can seek you out, people who know who you are. You have an element of social proof and pre-selection and credibility that comes with that. So yeah, network is another thing I'm going to focus on to ensure that I become financially successful in my 30s and beyond, with the stipulation that skills, in my opinion, precede network. Okay, number four, what I'm going to focus on to help me get rich in my 30s is savings. Now, you've probably heard about how you'll never save your way to getting rich, which I guess is somewhat true, but I can only speak from my experience, right? 2 years ago, in 2023, I got fired from 2 jobs in that year. Well, I got fired from one job, and then the other company basically ran out of money, right? So the first job, it was a sales job in a financial company who were very ruthless, and I'd moved all the way down to London for that particular job. And what ended up happening was I missed my target, and after 2 months they fired me, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this job. I'm gonna crush it because I believe in myself and I'm gonna be amazing, right? But what actually ended up happening is I failed, right? Like most people do who work there. It's not like a slight on me, most people in that company get let go after like 6 months, right? So whatever, it happened, okay? You deal with it. But the issue was I didn't have any savings. And so because I didn't have any savings, what that led to was I had to take the first opportunity that came to me. So the first one was a bar job, right? I was working in a place called the Churchill Bar in London, which is a really cool cigar lounge. For about 3 weeks I worked there. And then I found a job at a tech company, like a very small startup, very, very small. I was at like their first salesperson they hired. But they didn't even have a product built. So they hired me to sell the thing that wasn't even ready. But I just took the first job offer that came to me because guess what? I didn't have savings. I had to pay rent immediately. And that led to me making poor decisions. So this is why I think having savings is really, really important. It's because 2 things. Number one, it relieves financial stress. So if anything bad happens, you can essentially ride through that position with some financial security, and you can think more long term as well. So if I had money saved up in the bank 2 years ago when I lost my first job, I would have been able to take my time on the job hunt. Let's say I was looking for a job, I'd have taken my time on the job hunt, and I'd find the opportunity which was actually right for me, not the first opportunity that came along. Because inevitably, right, if it's the first job that comes along, right, it's probably not going to be the best opportunity out there. Okay, so yeah, like having savings is going to enable me to think more strategically long term, which is going to lead to better decisions, which is going to lead to better outcomes in the long term as well. So that's the fourth thing. I'm not trying to save my way to getting rich. I'm trying to save money, put money aside where I can essentially breathe. Like if I didn't make money for 2 years, then I'm good, Like one of my big goals this year is to put 50K aside, right? Which I should be able to achieve by the summertime. But it's like, yeah, having that money just sat there, I could put it in the S&P 500. Again, this is not financial advice. I could put it in the S&P 500 or put it in some kind of ISA, like a low risk ISA, and just had that money sat there. So that's my fuck you money. If anything happens, or if I need to walk away from a certain situation, I've got money there, which can enable me to walk away from situations. I'm not at the whim of the world, and I can I think more long term and be more strategic, which will lead to better outcomes. So that in my 30s, as I've got better skills, I've got a personal brand, I can build something which is actually valuable and not have to take the first thing that comes to me because I need to pay rent next month. Okay, number 5 and the final point is investing. Now, when I say investing, I don't have enough money right now to actually make enough money in like the stock market or in crypto where it would be meaningful for the quality of my life. And so therefore, right now, my investments are going to focus almost exclusively on my own self-education and investing in myself. And the reason for that is because if I focus on investing in myself, then I can acquire skill sets quicker that can enable me to make the income that eventually will lead to the amount of money which, if I did put it in the stock market, or if I did put it in the S&P 500, or if I did put it into crypto or whatever, it would build meaningful returns, right? But for right now, my focus on investing comes on investing in me. So what does investing in myself mean to me? It means investing in books, courses, mentors, and experiences that can improve my skill sets, which will enable me to make more income and will give me a higher ROI in my life, essentially. So that's where my focus is on investing. And then eventually, when I'm at the point when I'm making so much money where I can put a big portion aside every month, then I'll think about where am I going to actually put my money. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm making around 10K a month, but I started at 0. So my first goal is to basically put aside 50K. Hopefully I'll achieve that by summer, and I'm going to put that in my kind of savings bucket. I'll put it in the S&P 500. Again, not financial advice. I'll put it in something low risk, like an ISA or the S&P 500, and just have it sit there. And again, that's my FU money, right? It's my fuck you money. And if anything happens which I don't want to be a part of, I can walk away, right? But when it comes to investing, I'm focused on investing into my own skill sets, my own value, and improving myself and improving my own asset. And then beyond that, the excess cash and capital that actually creates in the long term, I will start investing and thinking about more strategic plans in terms of investing in businesses or investing again in like S&P 500. I don't really know anything about crypto, so I'm not going to talk about that. But basically, that is my kind of perception and an idea when it comes to investing and what that means to me and what I'm going to do with that. So to conclude, the 5 steps are: number 1, I'm going to build ridiculous skill sets, build FU skills to create FU income. Number 2, I'm going to create a personal brand. Number 3, I'm going to develop a strong network. Number 4, I'm going to save aggressively, which gives me a buffer for freedom and I can think strategically. Number 5, I'm going to invest in myself before worrying about more traditional investments. And then eventually I'll get to the point when I will start thinking about traditional investments. So I hope you liked the video. I try and keep it raw, document the process. Let's see if it works out. Let's see if I actually do these things and achieve these goals. But it'd be interesting to look back on, hopefully in 5 or 10 years at this video and be like, I said that, I did it, and look at the outcome. And either I'll be successful and it will lead to a good outcome, or it will lead to maybe maybe it won't lead to a good outcome. We'll see. But yeah, this is the process, and that I'm going to follow, that I made for myself, that I've learned from other people. So we'll see how it works out. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go like, go subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.